Hey guys, I'm Jonathan, the curator here at Walk Race Vintage in Miami, Florida. And today, we're chatting about something pretty unique to our gallery, a 1995 Toyota Supra RZ with only 4,500 original kilometers, which is under 2,900 original miles. Now, if you're familiar at all with the JDM culture, Japanese domestic market, you'll note that mostly all these cars are pretty heavily modified, be it tastefully, overly, or just about right, which is up to you to find out. You'll see that this car is completely stock. Original black single stage finish, original black fabric interior, and again, less than 3,000 original miles. Throughout the video, we'll chat a little about the history of the Supra itself, the Mark IV generation that you're looking at here, made from 1993 to 1998, and we'll dive into this particular car. So, the Toyota Supra, where do you begin? Well, 1978. That's the first time the car world heard the word Supra, and it was just a trim level on the then Celica model, which was a two-door sports hatch coupe designed to make wherever you were going or coming from a little bit more fun. The Supra trim included a little bit more of an aggressive styling, the suspension was tweaked a bit and you got a little bit more power. And with the cult following that quickly came from the trim line, the early 80s reined in a standalone Supra model. The Mark II generation, ultimately going to the Mark III, and now the Mark IV, like we have here. Now, if you're a car buff, you might have heard someone toss around the line, I'm throwing a 2J in it. Well, that's the motor that is in this car. The 2JZ, specifically GTE motor, which is the twin turbo variant, is one of the most sought after modifiable motors you can possibly find. It's a bit of a blank canvas. It's a 3-liter inline 6 with a twin turbo mounted to it. Now, from the factory, it produces 320 horsepower and about 315 foot-pounds of torque. But with really a few modifications, you'll see guys push well over 1,000. So again, what makes the Supra so incredibly desirable is its platform. It's a completely blank slate when you get it out of the box. And it's really, really hard to find one that's never really been taken out. So we've chatted about the Supra as a whole and its history, but let's talk about this particular car. It's a 1995 Japanese market right-hand drive Toyota Supra RZ with only 4,500 original kilometers, which is roughly 2,800 miles. Compound that with the originality of the paint and the car as a whole, it's a total unicorn. Mostly every JDM car, or especially Supras, they've been tweaked, they've been modified, the wheels have been changed, the wing has been enlarged. There's no wing here, it's a wing-delete car. The interior has been changed. You've had Recaros as belts thrown inside in lieu of the factory seats. But this car is completely untouched with the exception of a unique head unit that's in there. What I love about these cars is that it's really like a grand touring car. It's kind of a Japanese 550 Maranello. You can get in it and cruise the entire country if you'd like, with ice-cold air and power steering. The motor, now that's a whole different ballgame. As I mentioned earlier, the 2JZ is one of the most modified platforms in the automotive industry. It starts life as a 3-liter inline 6. They came in a couple naturally aspirated variations, but what we have here in the RZ is the twin turbo setup. It's 320 horsepower with 315 foot-pounds of torque. Now, what a lot of people do is they take away the twin turbo setup and they go right for a single turbo setup to get even more power, upwards of 1,000 horsepower with a very few modifications. Now, it's mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox. And if you haven't driven right-hand drive in a left-hand drive world, then you'll be shifting with your left hand, and it's pretty quirky, but thrilling nonetheless. The Supra overall is just a really, really cool platform. You can leave it stock, you can modify it, you can do whatever you want with it. And this particular one, well, it's up to you. I tell people there's 2 different things you can do. You can put it on a shelf and tuck it away for the rest of your life and see what happens to the value, or treat it like a new car and drive it every day. Well, we've reached the end of our video, guys. If you like this car and you want to see more, feel free to head over to the description below where you'll see the link to our website, walkracevintage.com. And please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more of us on social media, feel free to head over to all the major platforms at Walk Race Vintage. Thanks, I'm Jonathan. See you next time.